esfuerzo para asegurar que la guagua del departamento de ICE se moviera de aquí. And we know that there are many sensitive locations across our community that should be sacred, that should not be touched by ICE or Border Patrol for that matter. We know that a church should be a sensitive location. We know that a school should be a sensitive location. We know even that the emergency room should be a sensitive location. And we know that there are many places, funeral homes, no one should come in and detain, interrogate, cuff, arrest anybody when they're taking their children to school or inside of a funeral home or church. That's why I've introduced legislation to ensure that there are sensitive locations respected by ICE. Yo he presentado legislación que le ha dado, que pide de que la agencia ICE respete ciertos sitios sensitivos, como es, por ejemplo, una iglesia, una escuela, el salón de emergencia, un funeral, etc. For some time now, ICE, including General Kelly when he was directing Homeland Security, have told us that they respect those locations, that as part of their everyday operations, they don't violate the sanctity of those locations. Well, we now know that that's not true because there was a truck parked right outside of here. And so this piece of legislation that I submitted is critical and important to pass. We are going to be introducing this week in Congress part of immigration reform that would deal with Dreamers and TPS recipient, H.R. 6. But we're working on a bigger comprehensive immigration reform package that includes that bill regarding sensitive locations. Nosotros vamos a presentar esta semana una resolución en el Congreso, la número 6, que se dirige específicamente a los soñadores y también a los recipientes de TPS. Pero estamos trabajando un paquete más amplio de reforma migratoria que también incluye el proyecto de ley para proteger las áreas sensitivas como son las escuelas y las iglesias, los hospitales, etc. So we need you behind us to ensure that legislation is passed. Right? Now, the presence of ICE was even more egregious this past week, given the fact that The Nation, a very prestigious publication in the country, has been around for 100 years, last week also published, through a Freedom of Information Act, that ICE had put on their spreadsheet the vigil that we had at Fort Tryon last year to counteract the presence of a white nationalist group, Europa, at Fort Tryon Park. And they have placed that vigil apparently in the events that they were going to follow. And so we are concerned that ICE targeted a family-oriented event that was really a vigil for peace against racism, anti-Semitism, against nasty language, and that they may have assigned officers to surveil the event, that they may have infiltrated the event, and that in fact we know for a fact they were monitoring social media to see how many people and who had RSVP to the event. This is descriptive of McCarthy-era tactics by ICE, which should be really, when people say abolish ICE, this is what we're talking about, that they're using the resources to track down on average New Yorkers instead of going after drug gangs and violent criminals. And so we are very concerned that this van was parked right out here on the same week that the Nation put out its story about ICE having on a spreadsheet, which they categorize as anti-Trump events, the vigil that we have with families, with children, with rabbis, with priests, with folks from the community to counteract a racist group that was involved in, had connections with the ugly incident that occurred on Charlottesville, Virginia. And they were right up here, a step away from Fort Washington Avenue, where you still have some Holocaust survivors live, and right up here, which is a traditional immigrant neighborhood. We feel this was wrong, and their presence here was wrong. In fact, it says a chilling effect to the families, right? Because if you don't have any documents and you're bringing your son or daughter to school and you see the van parked out there, then your response is going to be obviously to go to the principal to say, look, am I okay? And so I've spoken to Leader Pelosi about this. I've spoken to Chairman Nadler from the Judiciary Committee, and we will be having hearings on ICE to figure out what's their protocol. What is it that led them to put that event, the vigil, in that spreadsheet? What is it that they have not done to allow two other officers to park right in front of a school or a church? Why is that happening today? Nosotros hemos hablado con la líder Pelosi y con el presidente del comité judicial, Jerry Nadler, para que se den audiencias públicas en torno a por qué la vigilia que tuvimos en el Fort Trump Park apareció en ese listado de actividades potencialmente vigiladas y por qué también un agente de ICE o varios agentes de ICE estacionaron su vehículo aquí frente a una escuela, naturalmente causando pánico para los padres y los maestros y los administradores de esta escuela. Así que we will continue to fight those heavy-handed efforts by ICE and this administration, and we will continue to support the community. And I wanted to thank both principals for the job that they did in making sure that families were reassured that nobody's going to come into the school, interrogate them, cuff them, and put them away. That's not a place for a school. A school is a nourishing center for teaching and community gathering, not for law enforcement to come in, kick down the door, and arrest people and take them away. That's descriptive of another country or another era, not the United States of America. So I thank you for your support. And now, let me introduce Alba Lucero Villa, who's here from the Northern Manhattan Coalition for Immigrants' Rights.
In its mission statement, CBP talks about protecting the public. Its vision statement uses words such as collaboration. It lists integrity as a cornerstone value. Nowhere does it say intimidate, frighten, terrify. Since when is intimidation protection? It isn't. Since when is intimidation collaboration? It isn't. Since when is there integrity in abusing power? There isn't any. CBP officers wanted to send a message while they were out to lunch. Today we're sending our own. Neither intimidation nor injustice is welcome in Washington Heights. We too are continuously watchful and alert. We too are dedicated to defending and upholding the U.S. Constitution. And we will do what it takes to hold those in power accountable when they abuse their power. No parent should be afraid to take their child to school. We all need to be encouraging children, supporting them and nourishing them to thrive, not scaring them. So I invite you to join us again tomorrow at 3:15 for a student-led action where we'll also be giving a Know Your Rights training. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ahora vamos a escuchar. Now we will listen to Kim Sykes from the New York Immigration Coalition.
Thank you so much. I want to say a big thank you to Congressman Espaillat for always being a true tireless champion for immigrant communities, and thank you for fighting for us in DC. We're here today to lift up the amazing parents of the Castle Bridge School community and to say a profound thank you to the Principal Zuckerman and her colleague for going over there and telling Customs and Border Protection that they needed to leave. This is what knowing your school community looks like. This is what listening to your parent community looks like. This is what being a powerful advocate for your children's ability to focus on learning in school looks like. Thank you so much. I also want to say that Customs and Border Protection parking outside the school was an absolutely terribly careless, thoughtless, and ridiculous thing for them to do. That of course caused very real fear and concern amongst parents and children in the school community. I also want to note one important distinction, that Customs and Border Protection and ICE are different. And this wasn't Customs and Border Protection, fortunately, purposefully targeting the school, nor was it ICE purposefully targeting the school. That isn't to understate at all the very real concern and outrage Customs and Border Protection being here today caused. We are grateful for Congressman Espaillat's work to strengthen and further sensitive locations to make sure that all parents can send their children to school and go to church and go to funeral homes without cause for fear. I want to note that the Department of Education here in New York City also has its own policy to make sure that ICE agents or anyone from Customs and Border Protection to make sure that they can't just walk into the school. That's a really important thing for parents to know when they're thinking about this. And I want to also emphasize that undocumented children have a right to go to school just like documented children. And these are critical things for everyone to remember and for us to continue fighting for all of our leaders in DC to know. These are certainly crazy times we live in, but immigrant communities are resilient and they are strong. We see that here today. I know we'll see it tomorrow in the action. And our youth have enormous potential. Thank you to the brave parent who spoke up about the vehicles being parked, and thank you again to the principals for taking immediate action for their school community.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to hear from Principal Julia Zuckerman from Castle Bridge School right here. And our other principal from PS 128.
So I'm Julie Zuckerman and this is Carrie Pantaleon. We represent the building. I'm going to make my statement in English and
I'll speak in Spanish.
Okay.
Español.
I want to thank Congressmember Espaillat for his support and assistance. Schools are supposed to be places in which children are safe and protected. They're also places in which children are to learn how our government works, what rights we are guaranteed under the law, how to distinguish between truth and falsehoods, and be encouraged to imagine, work for, and join in making our homes and lives more just and sustaining for future generations. Department of Homeland Security trucks were parked illegally in front of our school on Thursday while agents had lunch across the street. The agents expressed no concern that their presence would be interpreted as intimidating. Every child and family in our school community has the right to attend school without the fear of being randomly questioned or detained, entering or exiting the school. It is my job as a school principal to ensure that children and families feel welcome and safe. So whether federal presence is meant to intimidate or is simply inconsiderate manspread, it violates the trust that families have and have to have in order for education to occur. Thank you.
Queremos agradecerle al Congresista Espaillat por su apoyo y su asistencia. Las escuelas están supuestas a ser un espacio en el que los niños seguros y protegidos. También son espacios en que los niños aprenden cómo funciona el gobierno, cuáles son los derechos garantizados bajo la ley y cómo distinguir entre lo verdadero y lo falso. A la vez que se motiva a los niños a que unidos imaginen y trabajen por hacer de nuestros hogares y las vidas realidades más justas y sustentables para las generaciones futuras. El jueves pasado, camionetas del Departamento de Seguridad Nacional, Department of Homeland Security, se encontraban estacionados ilegalmente enfrente de nuestra escuela, mientras los agentes que los conducían almorzaban en un local del otro lado de la calle. Los agentes no expresaron ninguna preocupación de lo que su presencia pudiese interpretarse como intimidante. Todas las familias y los niños de nuestra comunidad tienen el derecho de asistir a la escuela sin temor de ser arbitrariamente cuestionados o detenidos al llegar o salir de la escuela. Como director escolar, es nuestro trabajo asegurar que los estudiantes y sus familias se sientan bienvenidos y seguros, ya sea que la presencia de las autoridades federales fuera intencionalmente intimidatoria o simplemente una muestra de una burda falta de conciencia y consideración. Trasgrade la confianza de las familias necesitan tener para que pueda dar progreso a la educación.
I want to give both principal a round of applause, please, for the work that they do. Thank you. Now we're going to hear from Rosie Mendez from Borough President Gail Brewer's office. Rosie.
Thank you, Congressman. Last week, officers from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection abused their authority and exercised disregard for this community and this city when they parked on a sidewalk and were not on official business. It is not acceptable for any government employee to do this, and it is a violation of the public trust. Here, a government vehicle from the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol in a predominantly immigrant community elevated the action to a hostile act. Making the decision to park on a pedestrian walkway was not just an act of privilege, it was one of intimidation that did cause fear in many. With the upcoming census, we're concerned that such actions can be used as tactics in suppressing a count. 1 minute to say it in Spanish. La semana pasada, oficiales de la Oficina de Aduanas y Protección Fronteriza de los Estados Unidos abusaron de su autoridad y mostraron desprecio a esta comunidad y esta ciudad cuando se estacionaron en la acera sin estar de misión oficial. Es inaceptable que un funcionario del gobierno haga esto y es una violación de la confianza pública. En este caso, el factor agravante del vehículo oficial de protección fronteriza en una comunidad predominantemente inmigrante incrementa la acción a un acto hostil. La decisión de estacionarse en la acera pública no solo se aprovechó del privilegio social, sino también causó temor entre muchos. En vista del próximo censo nacional, nos preocupa que tales acciones pueden usarse como tácticas para suprimir el conteo del 2020. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Rosie. We also want to thank the presence of Mariel de la Cruz from Controller Scott Stringer's office, and I know that Councilmember Mark Levine was also here. Let me just state that in addition to the sensitive locations bill, I've also introduced a body camera bill because I believe strongly that Border Patrol as well as ICE, any interaction they have with civilians should be recorded. And in fact, we have been told by Homeland Security that this particular program has already been piloted with Border Patrol. We would like to see some funding in the budget to ensure that it is implemented, not just with Border Patrol, but also with ICE across the country. Nosotros hemos presentado también un programa de la Cámara Corporal para los agentes de ICE y de la patrulla fronteriza. El Departamento de Homeland Security nos ha dicho que ya se piloteó este proyecto y pedimos que los fondos estén designados para que el proyecto sea nacional, no solo para la Guardia Fronteriza, sino también para los agentes de ICE. Any questions? Okay, one second. Okay. Oh, claro. Vamos a pedirle a algunos de los padres que están aquí con nosotros, que realmente también jugaron un papel importante en todo esto y que siguen jugando un papel importante en la vida de sus niños en esta escuela, que digan algunas palabras.
Buenos días. Gracias por estar aquí, por hacer eco de nuestro reclamo y la petición de muchos padres de la comunidad de las escuelas acá en East PS 128 and Castle Ridge. Muchos de estos padres se han sentido amenazados ante la presencia de las patrullas acá el día jueves.
Many of our parents have felt threatened in the presence of ICE.
Incluso muchos niños se sienten amenazados o de miedo porque a muchos se les ha explicado qué quiere decir la presencia de ICE, qué significa la presencia de estas camionetas.
Including many children are fearful because many of them have been explained that have gotten a description of what the presence of ICE may be.
Muchos padres votaron por no mandar a sus hijos al día siguiente, lo cual es perjudicial para nuestros niños, para su educación. Los niños merecen la educación, merecen estar en las escuelas, que es donde pertenecen, en la comunidad, y no quedarse en las casas con una política. Ahora,
Many parents are not here because they're afraid, and children should not be concerned about the presence of ICE or other agencies. They should really just be concerned about their education here in the school.
Algunos de las frases que vemos ahí atrás han sido escritas por los padres y muchas de esas frases han sido dichas por los mismos niños, lo cual no es, si ustedes las leen, no es justo que nuestros niños estén con ese temor.
Many of the phrases written here have been written by parents, and they have been articulated by the children, and it is not just that the children have to feel this kind of way.
Pedimos a todas las organizaciones y a las agencias estas que han venido a importunar a nuestras escuelas, por favor, dejen de intimidar a nuestros padres, dejen de intimidar a nuestros niños. Ellos merecen crecer tranquilos. Nadie es ilegal en este mundo. Todos somos seres humanos. Todos merecemos libertad y todos merecemos educación.
Please, to the agencies, the law enforcement agency, stop engaging in this type of tactic. No one is illegal in our world. Everybody deserves the opportunity to be educated. Thank you. Gracias. Bien. Preguntas ahora. ¿Algunas preguntas? Oh, otro padre.
Good morning. My name is Omar Freya. I'm a parent here at Castle Bridge. I have two children, 5 and 8 years old, and I want to just, have you be clear that these are children that we're talking about, little children and families, and that for us, when we saw the pictures yesterday, and when we saw the picture of the Customs Border Protection, and those of us that were here, and we saw the pickup trucks parked in front, for us, it was a blatant act of intimidation. It was not by accident. There was, for us, anyone who is who is willing and able to park a pickup truck directly in front of where we pick up our children with the engine running could very easily park in the parking spot that was directly right there on the corner. If they didn't have a problem being on the street right in front of us, they wouldn't have a problem being 6 or 12 inches into the crosswalk. So for us, this was very clearly an act of sending a message to all of us, to the parents, to the children, that it's Customs and Border Protection and ICE that rule our neighborhood and our community, and we're one community here. We're parents, we're children of the school, we're the guardians, we're the grandparents, and we support each other and we love each other regardless of our status. And so for us, all of the parents, we immediately got together, and so we're having an action here tomorrow when school lets out at 3:15. There'll be a rally here in front of the school with the parents and the family members and the teachers and the staff and the children who will be singing songs and playing instruments, and we're gonna make a beautiful, joyful noise because we want to send a message that this community is run by this community. This school is run by this school. This community is not run by Customs Border Protection. It's not run by ICE, and we will not be intimidated. So thank you. Yo lo digo en español. Sí, recuerdo. Mi nombre es Omar Freya. Yo soy un papá aquí de un hijo y hija de 5 y 8 años, y soy muy orgulloso de ser eso. Y yo y como muchos de los mamás y papás, familia, que cuando recibimos la noticia, vimos las fotos y de lo que estábamos aquí, que vimos los camiones del Customs y Border Protection que estaban aquí, para nosotros lo vimos directamente como un acto de intimidación, que fue bien fácil para una persona dejar su camión directamente enfrente en la acera de donde nosotros recogemos nuestros hijos e hijas. Eso para nosotros lo vimos como acto de intimidación, porque había espacio para un camión parquearse en la calle y ellos se parquearon en la acera. Y si podían estar 5, 10 o 10, 12 pulgadas donde se camina, donde se cruza la calle, eso sí podía hacer. Entonces, ¿por qué se ponieron ahí en la acera con el camión prendido enfrente de donde todo el mundo sale? Para nosotros eso fue, esa persona estaban mandando un mensaje de que son ellos que mandan esta comunidad, son ellos que mandan la escuela, y nosotros en ese inmediatamente nos reunimos y decimos que somos nosotros que mandamos nuestra comunidad, es la comunidad que manda en la comunidad, son los madres y padres, las familias que mandan en la vida de nuestra comunidad y en la vida en nuestra escuela, y la gente que trabajan aquí, y los estudiantes, no son la gente de afuera, la gente de esta agencia que quieren mandar ese tipo de mensaje para nosotros. Entonces, con eso en mente, nosotros vamos a tener una manifestación aquí mañana a las 3:15 cuando sale de la escuela todos los niños y todos nuestros hijos y hijas, y vamos a tener mucha música, vamos a hacer una gran bulla, todos están invitados, invitadas, van a cantar, van a traer su instrumento para mandarle un mensaje a la agencia, a esta agencia, que no son ellos que mandan aquí, somos nosotros que mandan aquí. Gracias.
Muchas gracias a los dos padres también por sus declaraciones.
Here.
Come on.
So, this is the secretary from the school. We just got a phone call.
They called and stated that they were ICE and that they were sending troops over to our school, and then they thanked us for having so many illegal immigrants here at Castleberry right now.
And then hung up.
Ella acaba de recibir una llamada intimidatoria que dicen que eran ICE y que ellos le daban las gracias por tener muchos niños indocumentados en esta escuela. Obviamente, esto es un asalto en contra de la democracia, esto es un asalto en contra de la paz de nuestra comunidad. This is an assault against democracy and the peace of our community. Y nosotros rechazamos este tipo de acción, rechazamos la presencia de ICE aquí, rechazamos que ICE haya colocado una vigilia como un acto anti-Trump que tenía que ser vigilado, y rechazamos la llamada que se hizo ahora mismo a esta escuela como actos vil y violentos en contra de nuestras familias y nuestros niños y nuestras escuelas. Por eso estamos aquí y mañana, no obstante a que yo voy a estar en Washington, le invito a todos ustedes para que vengan a la movilización que tienen aquí los padres y los niños y la escuela para dar un mensaje de tolerancia, de paz, que es lo que debe de prevalecer aquí en nuestra comunidad. Preguntas.
Congresista, a raíz de los incidentes del pasado, ¿teme usted que ahora sus eventos públicos sean vigilados y teme si algunas instituciones de inmigración también sean vigiladas y que los inmigrantes no puedan acudir a buscar su servicio libremente?
Nosotros no tememos de ninguna actividad de ICE porque siempre nos regimos dentro del marco de la ley y las actividades que llevamos a cabo son comunal, como fue la vigilia que se hizo en el parque, y vamos a seguir con ese tipo de eventos. Y estamos aquí también para decirle a la escuela que nosotros le apoyamos a la escuela y que apoyamos todas las actividades que ellos hacen. Any other question? Preguntas, respuestas. Gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry.